What did monks drink before dawn to steady their attention and open a kind of inner listening? I picture Amon in a thin robe, hands cupped around a bitter infusion, the desert cold at his nape, and a single reed lamp guttering, and I hear the scratches of a codex somewhere in the distance. That image, an old simple ritual of heat, flavor, and intent, is the doorway for our question today. These foods cleanse your pineal gland. Not as a promise of miracles, but as a practical, historically grounded invitation to tend a small gland and the conditions that help it do its work. Before I list the foods, a brief orientation. The pineal gland is a tiny endocrine organ tucked deep in the brain that helps regulate melatonin and the sleep-wake cycle. Across cultures, it has accrued symbolic language, the third eye, a seat of inner sight, but anatomically, it's a regulator of circadian rhythm. When people talk about cleansing the pineal, they mean different things: reducing inflammation, lowering oxidative stress, supporting healthy mineral balance, and attending to circulation and sleep hygiene. Some claims are traditional or popular, others have preliminary scientific support. I'll be careful to say what is widely believed, what research suggests, and where the boundary of speculation begins. This is not medical advice. If you have health conditions or take medications, consult a healthcare professional before making significant changes. If this message is speaking to you, try a short sip ritual after the food section, and if you notice anything, comment the word recognition and one sentence about what you felt. That small act of reporting helps build a community of careful experimenters, not seekers of quick fixes. There's a middle ground between mysticism and molecular biology where practical choices live. Many of the foods people recommend for pineal wellness share common mechanisms: antioxidant capacity to reduce oxidative stress, anti-inflammatory compounds that calm chronic irritation, nutrients that support metabolic detoxification pathways, and elements that bolster healthy blood flow. Some items are associated in popular circles with heavy metal chelation or fluoride balance. Those connections are more speculative and require caution. Below, I'll move through groups of foods that may support the physiological qualities often associated with pineal health. For each, I offer a short rationale, a culinary tip, and a small ritual suggestion, modeled after that monk's cup, so the practice remains sensory and intentional. Start with dark berries and colorful fruits. Blueberries, blackberries, elderberries, and cherries are rich in anthocyanins and other polyphenols, compounds with antioxidant properties that can help protect cells from oxidative stress. Laboratory studies show these compounds reduce markers of oxidative damage in tissues. In living humans, a diet rich in colorful fruits is associated with lower inflammation and better cognitive outcomes over time. Put them in morning porridge, blend into a smoothie with a handful of spinach and a splash of water, or simply eat a bowl slowly, noticing the texture and cold on your tongue. Ritual note: imagine the deep color staining your awareness, a small washing for sensory clarity. Turmeric with black pepper is a staple of monastic-like kitchens and modern kitchens alike. Curcumin, turmeric's active compound, is widely studied for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Black pepper contains piperine, which enhances curcumin's bioavailability, meaning your body can use more of it. Rather than relying on high-dose supplements, use culinary turmeric. Make a warm golden milk with a pinch of black pepper, whisked into oat or almond milk, or add turmeric to roasted vegetables and soups. Ritual note: sip slowly and let the gentle bitterness anchor attention at the sternum, as though sealing a small inner vow. Dark leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables deserve a steady place on the table. Kale, Swiss chard, arugula, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts provide vitamins, minerals, and chlorophyll. They're also sources of compounds that support liver detoxification pathways and antioxidant defenses. Regularly including these greens supports overall metabolic clearance and offers folate and magnesium, nutrients involved in neurological well-being. Toss them raw in a salad with lemon and olive oil, add a handful to smoothies, Or steam lightly and finish with a drizzle of olive oil. Ritual note: place a leaf in your hands for a moment before eating, as a way of remembering you're consuming something grown and time-rich. Raw cacao and magnesium-rich foods are subtle allies. Magnesium is crucial for nervous system regulation and relaxation. Raw cacao, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and leafy greens are good sources. Magnesium supports healthy sleep quality and calm, and better sleep supports the pineal's melatonin rhythm. A small square of high-percentage dark chocolate, a spoonful of cacao blended into a warm drink, or a handful of roasted seeds as an afternoon snack can be comforting and supportive. Ritual note: hold the cup to your lips and notice any softening behind the eyes before you sip. Cilantro and chlorella are often mentioned in conversations about heavy metal support. Cilantro has been used traditionally as a culinary herb believed to mobilize certain metals, and chlorella, an algae, has been studied in laboratory and small human trials for binding metals in the gut. These are popularly associated with cleansing practices, but they deserve careful framing. The evidence is mixed and context-dependent. Chlorella can interact with medications and should be chosen thoughtfully, and cilantro's effects are more anecdotal than conclusive. If you're exploring these, do so under guidance and start gently. Add cilantro to salsas, dressings, or a green chutney. Consider chlorella only after consulting a practitioner and verifying product quality. Ritual note: mix a sprig of cilantro into your food slowly, noticing the bright, almost piercing scent as an energetic signal of exchange. Ginger and garlic are humble, pungent, and powerful. Both have demonstrated anti-inflammatory and antioxidant actions and support circulation and immune resilience. They are culinary mainstays: ginger in warming teas and stews, garlic roasted or lightly sautéed to tame its edge. Including these in your food regularly supports systemic health, which in turn supports the microenvironment of small glands. Ritual note: when you grate ginger into a tea, breathe the steam and let the spice tug attention to the nape of your neck, the bodily threshold where the world feels close and immediate. Sea vegetables, kelp, nori, wakame, bring iodine and a spectrum of minerals. Iodine is necessary for healthy thyroid function, which has a downstream effect on metabolism and circadian regulation. But balance is crucial. Too much iodine is not harmless, and some seaweeds can concentrate heavy metals if sourced poorly. Use sea vegetables in moderation. Add nori strips to soups, sprinkle kelp granules sparingly on salads, or rehydrate wakame for a simple side. If you're managing thyroid disease or on relevant medications, consult your clinician before introducing concentrated seaweed regularly. Ritual note: taste the sea as a reminder of a wider ecosystem of support. Beets and nitrate-rich foods. These root vegetables are associated with improved circulation because dietary nitrates can be converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and enhances blood flow. Better microcirculation supports tissue oxygenation, including the brain's tiny structures. Roast beets with thyme and olive oil, blend them into a morning juice, or grate them raw into a salad for a bright, earthy note. Ritual note: let the beet's earthiness anchor a sense of rootedness at your base, what the monks called grounding. Fermented foods and prebiotic fibers nourish the gut-brain axis. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and a diversity of fibers feed both microbes and the short-chain fatty acids they produce, compounds implicated in inflammation regulation and immune balance. The gut influences systemic inflammation, and systemic inflammation affects brain environments. Include small portions of fermented foods regularly, or cook with miso and add sauerkraut as a condiment. If fermented foods are new to you, introduce them slowly to observe tolerance. Ritual note: take a mindful bite, noticing the tang as a tiny, living exchange. Clean water, citrus, and gentle sourness support hydration and metabolic clearance. Hydration is fundamental to all clearance pathways, and small amounts of lemon or apple cider vinegar in water, if it suits you, can stimulate digestion and a sense of refreshment. Avoid overinterpreting these simple supports. They are background practices, not magic bullets. Keep a regular habit of sipping water through the day, and notice whether clearer sleep or less brain fog follows. Ritual note. Hold a small cup of warm lemon water and imagine a slow, internal rinsing, like a calm tide moving through the body. There are also some foods and patterns to moderate. High amounts of processed sugar, excessive alcohol, and diets high in ultra-processed foods are associated with systemic inflammation and metabolic dysregulation. Reducing these supports the same physiological pathways the pineal depends on. Some people worry about dairy or fluoride-containing products. The evidence is complex. For fluoride, if you're concerned about exposure from specific sources, investigate local levels and speak with professionals about filtering options suitable for your situation. Do not stop medically recommended dental care without professional advice. Throughout all of this, a kitchen ritual can transform an ordinary act into an attention practice. Here is a simple morning infusion you might try. Steep grated ginger, a pinch of turmeric, a squeeze of lemon, and a few berries in just off boiling water. Sweeten if you wish with a small drizzle of honey. This is not a cure, it is a cup that situates you. Prepare it with intent, hold the warmth in your hands, and sip in small, slow measures. Use your breath as an anchor. Think of Amon at dawn. No mystical guarantee, only a practice that links body, taste, and attention. If you want to try a brief somatic check after such a sip, do it as an experiment in noticing. Sit comfortably. This is optional and entirely subjective. It's not a medical test. Place one hand lightly at the base of your skull, where the neck meets the head. Notice any warmth, tension, or release. Then rest the back of your other hand against your side, the area along the outside edge of the palm and wrist, and notice subtle shifts in temperature or tingling. Finally, bring both hands to your sternum, feeling the rise and fall of the breath and any sense of inner space. Spend a minute at each spot with curiosity, not expectation. Some people report nothing, others a slight sense of looseness or focus. Both are normal. Keep a simple note if you like, what you felt and when. A few practical cautions are important. None of the foods listed are a guaranteed way to decalcify the pineal or produce visions. The term cleanse here is a metaphor for supporting environments. Less inflammation, more antioxidant protection, balanced minerals, improved circulation, and better sleep. Avoid self-prescribing aggressive detox protocols or high-dose chelators without medical supervision. If you are on medications, especially those affecting the thyroid, blood thinners, or immunosuppressants, check with your clinician before adding concentrated herbal or algae supplements. When exploring new supplements, prioritize reputable brands and lab-tested products. Lifestyle is as important as the plate. The pineal's most established role is in melatonin regulation. Light exposure, particularly blue light at night, suppresses melatonin. Prioritize regular sleep schedules, dim evening lighting, and limit screen use close to bedtime. Regular physical activity, mindful breathing, and stress reduction influence systemic inflammation and circulation. Think of food as the support structure, soil, water, and sun for an inner garden, while sleep and light are the climate that garden needs to flourish. In closing, let me reframe the phrase, "These foods cleanse your pineal gland." That sentence should be read as an invitation. These foods may support the physiological conditions associated with pineal function when used thoughtfully and as part of a balanced life. The true cleansing is often less dramatic than imagined. It is a series of small practices that add up, what the ancients gave shape to as ritual, and what we give shape to now in the kitchen and the body. Eat with attention. Sleep with respect for darkness. Move the body. If you try the sip ritual and the somatic check, share the one-word code recognition and a short line about what you noticed. This helps us learn from careful, humble experimentation. If you found this useful, Subscribe for more explorations where we pair simple recipes, practical experiments, and the historical threads that inform them. Share this with someone who tends their inner life through the ordinary acts of eating and resting. The cup is small, the work is patient,